Clay soil watering is where good gardeners go wrong. Right now, somewhere in Britain, a gardener is digging sharp sand into heavy clay. Their neighbor told them to. The old boys at the allotment swear by it. Here is the question. Can a few bags of sand turn sticky clay into soft, crumbly loam? No. In most gardens, it makes garden watering worse. Today I will show you why, and the fix that actually works. It costs less than the sand. If you watched last week, you know Britain gardens on 6 broad soil types. Clay is the one people complain about most, and I understand why. I garden on it myself. My corner of Belfast sits on heavy ground, and my allotment is proper clay. You know it the moment you turn a spade. In January, it is porridge. It sticks to your boots, your fork, and your dog. Then July arrives, and the same bed sets like concrete, with cracks wide enough to lose a pencil in. Here is what those tiny particles are doing. Clay particles are so small and so tightly packed that water struggles to drain between them. When it rains, the gaps flood and roots sit in a cold bath. When it dries, the whole mass shrinks and sets hard. So water either drowns the roots or cannot reach them at all. But here is the thing. Clay is not poor soil. It is usually the richest ground on the street. Those same clingy particles hold onto water and nutrients the way sandy soil never can. Clay does not have a fertility problem. It has a structure problem. Keep that word in mind, structure, because that is exactly what a bag of sand cannot buy you. So where does the sand idea come from? Honest logic, actually. Clay particles are tiny, sand grains are big. Mix them, says the theory, and you land somewhere in the middle, that lovely, crumbly loam. It sounds like simple arithmetic. I believed it too. My first spring on the allotment, one of the old boys told me sharp sand would sort my beds out, so I barrowed it in and dug it through, feeling very pleased with myself. That bed spent the next 2 years as the best path on the site. Firm, flat, nothing grew. Here is what actually happens down in the soil. Add a modest amount of sand to clay, and the fine clay particles do not politely move apart. They wrap around every sand grain and fill the gaps between them, like wet cement around gravel. You have not made loam, you have made something denser and harder than either ingredient on its own. Think about what a brick is. Clay, sand, pressed together. I am not saying your border literally turns into brick, but that is the recipe you are mixing. And the amount of sand you would need to genuinely change the texture is enormous. Nobody could barrow it, afford it, or dig it all in. In most gardens, a few bags of sand is either useless or actively worse. The garden center will not tell you that. The old boys will not either. They mean well. The soil does not care. Now let me show you what happens when clay gets even worse. There's a post on the UK gardening subreddit that sums it up, a new build garden. The owner watered the lawn twice a day every day through a warm spell. It died anyway, so they lifted a corner of the turf to find out why. Underneath there was barely any soil at all. Broken bricks, lumps of mortar, bits of plastic, all pressed into the clay by months of heavy machinery. The turf had been laid straight on top of it like a rug over a car park. The comments filled up with gardeners saying the same thing had happened to them. If you live in a new build, this might be your garden right now. And here is the lesson that goes far beyond new builds. Compaction is clay's worst enemy. When clay is squashed by a digger, or just by your boots on a wet day, the last of its air spaces collapse. A compacted clay soil is a rush hour bus, completely full. Nothing else is getting on. Not air, not water, not roots. That poor gardener was not underwatering. They were pouring water onto a surface that could not accept it, over rubble that roots could not enter. You cannot fix a soil problem with a watering can. And you cannot fix compacted clay with sand either. So what does fix it? The real fix is organic matter, compost, leaf mold, well-rotted manure. The stuff of every boring gardening book ever written. And the old advice happens to be right. But here is the part most people get wrong. Organic matter does not work by diluting the clay the way sand was supposed to. It works by feeding a workforce. Last episode we said soil is a living system, not dust. This is where that pays off. Spread compost on clay and the earthworms arrive to drag it downwards, tunneling as they go. Every tunnel is a drain and an air shaft. Then the microbes get to work. As they feed, they release sticky gums and glues that bind clay particles together into little clusters. Gardeners call them crumbs. And the clever part is not the crumbs themselves, it is the gaps between the crumbs. Suddenly that packed clay has pores. Rain drains through instead of pooling. Air follows it in. Roots can push between the crumbs instead of hitting a wall. The clay is still there, still holding water and nutrients like a champion. It has just been reorganized from a solid mass into an open structure. Sand cannot do that because sand is not food. Nothing eats it, nothing tunnels for it. Feed the soil, and the soil rebuilds itself. That is the whole trick. So here is the routine. 5 steps, once a year, mostly in autumn. Step 1, stay off wet clay. Every footstep on soggy ground squeezes air out and undoes your good work. Remember the rush hour bus. If you must get on the beds, work from a plank to spread your weight. Step 2, in autumn, spread compost or well-rotted manure across the surface. A layer about 5 centimeters deep is the target. Step 3, this is the step that surprises people. Do not dig it in. Leave it sitting on top. The worms will pull it down through the profile over winter, and they do a gentler, deeper job than a spade ever could. Digging wet clay mostly smears it and wrecks the very structure you are trying to build. Step 4, do it again next year and the year after. Clay improves in layers, season by season, like a pension rather than a lottery win. Step 5, through summer, keep the surface covered with a mulch so the sun cannot bake your new crumbs into crust. That is the whole program. No sand, no digging, no miracle products. Compost on top, boots off, worms on the payroll. While the worms are working, you still have to water the place. Clay has its own rules, and they all come from one fact. Clay drinks slowly, pour fast, and the water sits on the surface, then runs off to next door, exactly like the runoff we followed in episode 1. So rule 1, water slowly. A gentle trickle for longer beats a heavy blast every time, because the soil can only accept water at its own pace. Rule 2, water deeply, then leave it alone. Clay holds what it takes in, so a proper soak can carry a bed for days. Constant little sprinkles just crust the top. Rule 3, go early. A cool morning gives water time to creep in before the sun starts baking. Notice the theme. Everything about clay rewards slow and steady and punishes fast and flashy, which is a very comfortable rhythm for some of us. And it is exactly why the kit I use suits this ground so well. Let me show you what I mean. Slow water for slow ground. That is the whole idea. On my plot, the slow part is a drip line which feeds the beds one patient drop at a time at a pace clay can actually swallow, and the timing part is the Johgee 4-zone timer I run on my own tap. The hub sits indoors by the router and talks through the brick wall by radio to the tap unit outside. My clay beds get their long, gentle soak before 6 in the morning, whether I am home or 3 hours into a shift. If your ground drains freely and you only keep a couple of pots, a 9-pound mechanical timer is fine. Slow, heavy ground is where the scheduling earns its keep. Let me leave you with the other side of clay. My neighbor Mrs. Doyle has gardened on the same Belfast clay for 30-odd years. Her roses stop traffic in June, and I say that as a man who drives the traffic. Her secret is not sand, and it is not luck. It is 30 years of compost, laid on top, autumn after autumn, boots off the beds. She built structure into rich ground, and now the ground pays her back. Because once clay is working, it is the best soil on the street. Remember, those clingy particles hold water and food like nothing else. So here is how I want you